Hello viewers. Today we have a Lakewood P-23, some call it a K-23, Kmart branded Lakewood. So what we're going to do today is do a very simple cleaning and servicing. This fan gets light use, but I did notice in recent videos where this fan appeared that the guard seems to have some dust on it. So we're just going to do a quick wipe down. We're not even going to wax it. If you follow the channel, certain videos where I do a complete cleaning and servicing, I add a coat of wax when I'm done. This fan has had wax on it, and there is such thing, I can still feel it, there is such thing as over or having wax build up, because let's face it, these things are not outside driving around like a vehicle. All right, so we're gonna first remove the guard, and I'm borrowing Eddie's electric screwdriver to hopefully make this a little quicker. Still, it's not quick enough. We also get that problem. It's also not quick enough. Feel free to fast forward through. The beauty with the metal bladed fans, especially the Lakewood variant, is you do not have to remove said blades to oil both sides of the motor. Now this fan is well oiled. I haven't oiled it probably easily 10 years, if not longer, but since we're doing some cleaning and we're gonna have the guards off, we're gonna just put a few drops of Zoom Spout. And I say it in other videos, those of you who know how to do this already know this, of course, but when you go to oil a fan motor, or really any electrical motor, you do not want to use oil that has detergent in it. What do I mean by that? Just think of WD-40. That has detergent in it. You don't want to do that. You either want to use a product like a Zoom Spout, or you can use an all-in-one, whatever, it's 3-in-1, but you want to use the blue can. I don't have any, or I'll show you. Use the blue can, not the red can. Blue can has an image of a fan on the back. You're good to go. What's wonderful about this fan here is the guards are in really good condition. So when I acquired this fan, I want to say somewhere around 2007. It was really in pristine shape. And then I did put it in service for a little bit in one of the, actually what was at the time the guest room at my first house. And it was protected from the sun really over on that side. And I did use it for a few summers. And then I noticed that the original electrical cord the insulation was starting to crack on it, and I didn't think it would be safe, so I pulled it out of service. And really at that time, I didn't really know how to do a good job of replacing the electrical cord. So there's an old school, I don't know if it still exists, old school electrical repair shop. You just bring your appliances there and this guy repairs them. Now he won't rewind motors or anything like that, but he, I see the dilemma here. But he will do things like this. So this has a polarized plug now, right? And I see what happened. This is frustrating. Look at this plug. That is not going through there. So what happened? So when the guy wired the fan, he put the leads in this way and then wired it up. And it was an older guy too. You would think he'd be smarter than that. That is frustrating. Okay. So we have an option. Either I don't know how I'm going to clean this because I use a hose without. Can we? I might have to do something that is just like absolute fan blasphemy and crack break that slat, you know, if I break one side of it, so it just has, it can go up and down, and then I can always glue it back. Oh, this is frustrating. This is frustrating. Wow, this is not brittle, that's for sure. I wonder if there's enough flex there. Wow, there's like no flex in this. I mean, this guard is in really good shape. I can't believe this. Oh boy, okay. Let me just think this through. Let me go grab another tool. Because this is inevitably gonna come up again, right? Copyright out here in the garage. Well, I'm gonna cut anyone off ahead of time. I should have stopped the video for that, but I didn't. So you can always forward that. All right, let's see here. Sometimes a simple job becomes way more complicated. And the irony is the slat next to it is broken because clearly this fan was serviced before and broke that slat to get the original plug through, and then whoever, the guy at the store, the repair shop, could have just wired this through that same one. If I can get this through without breaking, I'm going to wire it back through that open one. Oh, there, you just heard it. Shoot. Well, what I'm going to do is the slat that I just broke, I am going to glue it into the one that was already broken. So therefore it's kind of like, yeah, I did break it, but I don't know what else to do. Maybe someone in the comments can suggest. All right, so I'm not gonna bring you along for this. I'm just gonna step outside and hose these off. They don't need elaborate attention because they're not filthy, they're just a little dusty. So for that, we'll be right back. All right, so the guards are clean, or they're drying, I should say. And what we will do now is just do a quick, simple wipe down of everything. And this will be so easy to do. I mean, this fan is just beautiful condition, and I aim to keep it that way. So what I ended up doing with the guards is, at first I just hosed them down. Yeah, there's a little dust. I just hosed them down, and I realized there was the dust wasn't breaking loose. So I went and got some simple green, which is what I typically do. I just thought dirt was so minor that it was gonna just come right off. But once I sprayed it with simple green, and then my trick usually is I hold the guard in my hand and spray it both horizontally and vertically. Just go kind of slat by slat. Nothing too crazy. And you know, back in the day, I used to get out of like almost like a toothbrush, and in some cases that's still warranted to do with certain fans, but this thankfully wasn't. And I'm kind of on a time crunch today, so I thought this would be a good project to knock off. And plus, I want to put it away, and just knowing that, you know, I can put it away nice and clean, and ready to go. Just made some sense. But I've also seen pretty much anyone who follows this channel for the fans and whatnot follow Jordan Yu, and he has a dedicated dishwasher in his basement that he will wash not only the guards, but I've seen him put in other plastic items from fan cleaning, and that seems to work really, really well. Now, I guess the only caution I would have or would consider is if I was cleaning something that was like a guard that was very brittle, you know, you have to pick your battle, I guess you could say. and decide if it's worth risking putting a brittle guard in the dishwashers, and that goes for even scrubbing it with a brush or like blasting it with a hose. And I do have one or two fans that the guards are really brittle shape that I kind of, just gotta be really careful. I have one, Lakewood 200i. I think it has a winding issue too, but the front guard just, it was like, not even toothpicks, it was just like tissue paper. It just totally, literally I picked the fan up out of the window and just watched a section of the guard just fall out, and it was so brittle. But I ran that fan like crazy. I bought it from somebody for like $10 in 2008 or 9, and I needed a runner, and it was in okay shape, and I ran it, and I would oil it. So easy to oil. I just kept oiling it and running it and oiling it, and it eventually, the guards just disintegrated on it. A little tiny bit of rust in here, but nothing bad. Yeah, so when I feel this with my hands, it's super smooth, so I can tell it has a wax on it still. And the only thing that was on top that was hindering the wax is like a little layer of dust. All right, so this is clean. We'll oil it next. Actually, I should hit the blades one here on this side. If you can see through the camera, I'm not sure if you can from that distance, but the windings on this are like super clean. This is one of my all-time favorite fans. I feel like every collector, it'd be a fun conversation. Like, what are some fans in everyone's collection that it's kind of like a standard collection item? Like you just, like if you're a collector, you can say, yeah, that person's a collector, so that means they probably have a P-23 or a rebadged variant of that fan. And this is one of them for sure that I feel like a lot of collectors have or desire. Yeah, there's really nothing coming off of this. Really cool. But again, really, the whole reason I was cleaning this is because I noticed the guards had a little dirt on it. It wasn't really anywhere else. A little bit of pitting on the blades, but yeah, I don't think I've taken these blades off before. Definitely waxed them. Just hit. Is that the year on it? Model number P-23, 2.7 amps, Lakewood Engineering, Chicago, Illinois. Ah, dang, it doesn't have the year. I'm guessing 75. Somebody may know a little better. So what I noticed in the bottom of this cabinet, especially over here, not on the right side, but over here, there's a little hole. And I noticed in my Dayton, or I should say even my Lasco HV box fans, I noticed there's two of those holes in the center, and I often didn't really, actually I didn't think about it at all. I just, okay, they must have needed that for the manufacturing process, and maybe they just put those holes there. But then it got wet, and I saw the water running through the holes, and I thought, in some way, are these drain holes? I don't know. All right, so that's good. I'm just gonna wipe the outside of the cabinet, and then we'll oil it. And then what takes the longest is the guards drying, so I'm probably gonna stop the video, go do something else for a little bit, and then come back. Oh yeah, this is super. This has that new finish because of the wax on here. Yeah, I used to be really crazy with the wax, and every time I would service the fans that I used every year. I would use fans like the same fans every year, but in the off season, I would service them, right? And I would service them and also put wax on them. But then what I was finding is I had a lot of wax on my fan. And so really then I think I backed off and said, like the outside of the cabinet, just a little dust. Underneath, look at this, beautiful. Then I said, okay, well maybe like every 5 years or so, I would put a coat of wax on it. So in this case, it's been easily 10 years, but I'm still not gonna put wax on it because it is super smooth. Notice how on the bottom of this fan, if it shows up on camera, all 4 of these little rubber feet are still intact. I mean, this is definitely not perfect, not like so perfect you wouldn't use it because you wouldn't want to mess it up, but perfect enough where this would fetch a few bucks, I think, if I were to sell it. There was one at the fan meet that I think was missing the handle, was not in the kind of condition this one is, and it went for 75. So I think this could be, I don't know, it's tough for me to say. I like the market to kind of figure it out, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me somewhere between 100, 125, 150, somewhere in there maybe. But it's not for sale. That's the great part because I want to keep it. It's one of my, when I started collecting and buying fans, this was one of my earlier fans that I did. So certainly this and that McGraw Edison that you've seen me have in so many videos, the most recent videos with the bouncing hub and the hub slipping on the shaft, that fan, I bought that around the same time I bought this one. So they have sentimental value to me because it kind of kicked off my collection. All right, so we're gonna put a few Zoom Spout drops in. I even like that it says oil on the, and it just actually even tells you. The newer ones didn't. Just a few drops. Make it happy. Okay. You know, most people, I would say, most people never oil them. So the oil port's right there. It even has the oil, it says oil. Oiled fan is a happy fan. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop the video and we're gonna wait for those guards to dry. Okay, now that the grills are dry, oh yeah, these look nice. Well, there's slightly dampage on them, but not bad, just a little bit. So we're gonna put these on. Normally when I'm doing this, I do it like this, much quicker, but a lot of times on camera I do it standing up so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I guess you can see what I'm doing, plus this is not rocket science. I also checked, I do not have glue at this moment in time to glue that slat back in, so that's going to be an off-camera, get some glue project. And just as my father taught me, you do opposite corners. It's pretty much anything that you have to put on multiple screws and you get all line on. You also don't want to crush the grill when you put it back on. You know, as soon as it touches that plastic, I'm done. Because I don't want it to crack at all, especially since this thing has made it through its life in really nice shape and it's this old. Not lined up. And I think that's where sometimes when you run into these you see them kind of cracked because, not that you over tighten them, but you probably go half a turn too far. Yeah, see, just as soon as it touches that plastic, it's enough. alignment. I'm lefty too, so it's kind of a reason that was kind of cockeyed. All right, that's that. Whoa. That would have been fun. Okay. So I sometimes will listen to videos, listen to videos more on the relaxation side. And there's something called a singing bowl where, like, I don't know what it is, because I never actually watch it. Like, I just listen, and it sounds just like that, like the lady hits the thing, and it's supposed to be calming. There's a little dirt down here. I missed that. This side's this side didn't come as clean. The other side is spotless. Almost looks like maybe a little bit of mold. All right, but it's still way cleaner than it was. I'll have to address that next time. See, that's where putting it in a dishwasher probably would be pretty good. You know what? I got it backwards. So the person who replaced the cord on this put on a, I think it's a 12. Yeah, it's 12-foot cord, 8-foot cord. It's really long. Did I put it on backwards again? You idiot. I did. Okay. See, what's happening to me today is I'm under a tight deadline because I got stuff going on this afternoon. It is a Sunday as I'm doing this, and sometimes you rush, and I'm always a big proponent of you take your time. And this is something I enjoy taking my time because it's a hobby, right? Yeah, there we go. But you always want to take your time. You have like 10 things to do to get done fairly quickly. But this has been itching at me to get done because I've been wanting to put it away. So my office area has, if you watch the channel, I've kind of toured the house and whatnot, and it's kind of been a catch-all as I've been like assembling the house. And there's some low-hanging fruit to get put away, which is this. And I wanted just to get it done. It's funny because that did the same thing on the other side, that exact one. So I've been wanting to get this like done so I could put it away. It appeared in a few videos just recently, and so I knew that I didn't have any other plans for it to go in video for the rest of the season unless someone out there makes a request, and I'm always open to that. What I mean by that is this channel, we do a lot of comparing fans. Some comparisons are just like really cool to see, like this compared to maybe like a fan of its generation, and or something totally ridiculous, like we've compared, like I'll give you an example, like something like this to a Lasco 3733, like a new one. We haven't done that exact comparison, but that's just to give you an idea of how silly sometimes we can do comparisons. What was neat was doing the new Vernado Model 80 versus some of these older fans with the metal blades. If you're into that, check that out. Got one more. Wait, we have one more. Whoa, did I miss one on the other side? I sure did. See, again, I'm going too fast. Okay, we're done. Oh wow, this feels new. Okay, we're plugged in. Are you on camera? Yes, you are. Let's do low. Let's do medium. Let's do high. We're in business. Let's get that oil worked in there. It was good also the oil worked in there while the guards were drying. I try to do the guards first, just so they can be drying while I'm working on the rest of the fan. Look at that spin down. And this had excellent spin down really even before the servicing. And this, if anything, will just ensure that it continues to have excellent spin down. All right, so that's it. If you have any comments in terms of maybe some other techniques or better ways to do this, I'm all ears. Just because I do it this way doesn't mean it's the best way or the only way. So certainly would like to hear that. And yeah, I mean, I got the dust off here, but there is some like dark spots, and I'm wondering if it was stained somehow. I don't know, like, yeah, see, it comes off, that came off of my finger. So I'm wondering, if I do have to get a brush and brush it next time. But it's definitely cleaner than last time. Nice and smooth, and we're good to go. And aside from any suggestions on what your kind of technique is for doing this, also if you would like to see this fan in another video comparing it to another box fan, for those of you who are familiar with the channel, you kind of know what I got. Would be happy to do a comparison video. So again, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.